Hey, this is Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and today we're going to do a part 2 video on Ceph x-rays. We're going to dig in a little bit more to workarounds if you don't have a Ceph machine, what you can get from a Ceph x-ray. Please watch our previous video that we posted right before this, and there's a little more information specifically on Invisalign patients, workarounds, and things like that. So let's dig into a little bit more what you can do if you don't have a Ceph arm, if you don't have a Ceph machine, but yet you know you need some Cephs because perhaps you're treating adult patients and you're changing AP. So AP is anterior. So this is anterior and this is posterior. This is anterior and this is posterior. So if we are working in the sagittal direction, which is moving things this direction or this direction, okay? Like moving a lower jaw forward, moving upper teeth back. No matter if we're doing distalization of the upper teeth, are we adding some IPR to the upper teeth and retracting the incisors? Are we using class 2 elastics to procline the lower teeth to get the bite to match up? These are all things that are in the sagittal or AP direction. And these are things where you might need a Ceph x-ray. Now, if you do not have one, it's not saying go out and buy a $50,000 machine. I'm saying you need to first of all you need to check out your Dental Practice Act, see if you need to take Cephs. Does it say anything about it? In most states, it pretty much says it comes down to standard of care, professional judgment. And I always like to say, what do I have to benefit from it? So yes, if it's an adult and we're making some fairly drastic sagittal or AP changes, underbites, overbites, things like that, overjets, flared incisors, yeah, you should have a Ceph because it helps you make a decision. Yeah, so you need to have an initial and sometimes a final if there's any issues. Growing kids, absolutely. There's so much you can do, especially in the AP, sagittal, underbites, overbites, long faces, short faces, deep bites, open bites. All those are going to need, that's vertical things, deep bites and open bites. Those you're going to need a Ceph for. What can you not see in a Ceph? Well, you can't see transverse, which is like widths of jaws. That would be a transverse direction. That would be something different, but that you can't get from this x-ray. So my suggestion if you're looking for a workaround would be twofold. Number one, if you're in an urban area, it should be fairly easy to find an oral maxillofacial radiologist. It is a relatively new specialty. I did write a blog and I posted some links on where you can go to find one. A lot of people didn't even know they exist. A lot of them have independent centers. The one near me doesn't even have a website, but he does everything. He has a CBCT, he has iTero, he takes Cephs, he does Ceph analysis. If it involves scanning or x-rays, that's what he does. He has a nice little compact center where patients can go and he will do it for you at a very reasonable fee. How that works financially, if you're going to be outsourcing that component, is really up to you and that center. Some of them can bill insurance. Most of them can either bill the patient or they can bill you, depending on how you work out the contract. Personally, if you're doing ortho, most patients get a little irritated if they have to pay twice, if they're assessed a fee, unless that's something that you are saying on the front end and it's in the contract. Hey, your fee is $3,900. Of that, $3,800 will be sent to us. $100 will be sent to, it gets a little messy, honestly, with the contract. I'll be really, really honest if there's ever refunds or problems. Personally, I think it's better if they bill you, the doctor, and you work out some type of discounted fee or volume fee or something like that. You purchase 10 Cephs in a year or something like that, and they'll just take them for you. That's what I would do. And then all the patient has to do is just stop by and do it. If you do not have an OMF radiology center near you, if you have a dental school near you, that works too. Slightly less convenient. They're often a bit clunky, but usually all you need is an x-ray referral form. They go there, they make an appointment, and you can even set it up for them. That's probably the best way to go and help them with the paperwork. It's just that you're going to have a whole nother second set of paperwork. It's kind of a hassle. Lastly, the easiest way might be to do it is to find a buddy. And if you're worried about someone poaching your patients, my suggestion is to find an oral surgeon because they all have these. Sometimes perio can do it. Sometimes endo can do it, but usually they have smaller plates, but it really depends. Call your specialists, and worst comes to worst, you can always send to ortho. Ortho definitely has it. My only concern is it better be a really good friend of yours because patients might get poached or patients have free will. So they have the right to go someplace else. If they go there and they're like, why didn't I pick this place? They may get the rest of their family's ortho done at this other office. So, Of course, you're looking for convenience, but you don't want your patients to get poached either. And, it happens. So I personally would prefer that you call up oral surgeon is probably the best bet if they're willing to do it for you. So call up your oral surgeons in your area, find out who can do this and how much it would cost. If it is an OMF radiology center, they will likely do the analysis for you. If it's anyone else, they probably will not. You'll need to do it independently. So see my other videos on how to get the analysis done. Most of my doctors in the US or even abroad are using one of a few things. So they're either using Cephs, you don't have to go buy the software because that gets very expensive. There's some online versions where you literally just pay to use, or you purchase a bundle or a membership and you get so many Cephs per month. And you just upload them as you go. Price point for Cephs, which is one of my favorites because it's really easy to use and you get it immediately and you just go online. You can purchase, I believe, 10. This is as of fall 2020. I have a few other videos on Cephs and I'm going to put them all in a playlist. The prices are a little off there because they're from last year or the year before, but as of fall 2020, I believe you can get 10 Cephs for $350 US. And there's no, you can use them whenever, so that's a really good value, like credits, or you can get memberships. I think they're like 5 Cephs a month or more, a little more. They end up being cheaper, but if you're not going to do at least 5 a month, it doesn't really make sense. Also, if you're in the US, there are quite a few orthodontic labs, and I can tell you if you want to contact me, I can give you some of their names where you could just email them your Ceph or you send them in a portal and they will do it for you. Their price point is more like about $45. So it's a little bit more than the Cephs, but you can just get one at a time. Turnaround time is a day or two, or maybe 1 or 2 business days at least. So it takes a little bit longer. Cephs is instantaneous. So, but yes, you have to get the numbers. There are like hundreds of different analyses, and I think this is the most confusing part for most general dentists. I would personally just go with Sassoon Plus. It's very, very simple, and they actually explain what it means in simple English. So if you're just getting started, it makes it crazy easy. I use McNamara, I use Steiner, I use POS, I use a bunch of them. So McGann, there's a bunch of them. I know what they mean when I look at it, I don't have to have it explained to me, but don't stress out. Now, there are textbooks on this if you want to buy it, but I wouldn't overthink it. Just get the Sassoon Plus to start, and it literally will say lower jaw is too big, upper jaw is too small, or it's positioned, posteriorly instead of anteriorly, or it's long vertically. They put it in simple English. You can't miss it. And these are things that you can put in your insurance report or in your narrative, or put in your treatment plan. You can literally just lift the information because it's already explained for you. And then it's easy for you to explain it to the patient. Hey, we're doing this because the numbers say this. Now, remember, it's really important that when you're putting the information in, that you're putting in the accurate patient's birth date, because the analyses are based on the patient's age and the patient's ethnicity. Okay. So somebody of African descent is going to have slightly different numbers because the profiles are different. Different things work with a soft tissue than somebody maybe from Northern European descent. Okay. So it's really important that you're accurately putting in the right information so that you get the right data, birth date and ethnicity. Okay. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful for you. Get excited about Cephs. They're not that scary. And I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, please watch the rest of my videos on cephalometrics. All right. Thanks so much. And if you have any additional questions, you'll want to go to StraightSmileSolutions.com. You're welcome to make requests if you want some more content created, if you want to take one of our classes, if you want to go to our gpwebinar.com site, we have even more content posted there, and it's all free. All right. Thanks so much.